Oh boy,
Yeah.
please keep talking here because you know what I hear? I hear a little bit of George W.
Yeah.
I think tide turning. I see. As I remember, I was raised in the desert, but tides kind of turn. It's easy to see a tide turn. Did I say those words?
So you're taking Temple with me, huh?
I'm taking Temple. I give it Keeler. I think Philly J in the chat is onto something. I trust Keeler a little bit more than Harasmiak. I greased up the Minutemen on their episode. You know, this is how you gain fans. You take each of them on each episode.
Hey, Temple needs to take those fucking notes. All right.
Hey, you know, I was well on the over with UMass. I can give one back and still be on the over. So yeah, give me Temple 1-0.
I got him 1-0, and then the Howard Bison come to town. I believe Edgerrin James's sons graduated from, so I don't think he's back this year. But I haven't done a deep dive on Howard yet in the FCS. But Howard did win at UNLV in one of the crazier games over the past 20 years of college football that no one knows about. Howard was a 43.5-point dog, and they won outright at UNLV. Watch out for these Bisons, my point. But I got Casey Keeler. He knows that shit. He probably remembers that game. Temple 2-0. What are you doing here?
2-0, man. This kind of an opportunity to get off to a nice start here to begin the Keeler era.
Yeah, 2-0, and then my favorite game on the schedule.
It's a home game.
What the fuck is this? Oklahoma, for some reason, wanted to go to the Link.
Recruiting?
I have no fucking idea. Because nowadays you could just buy the play, like now, like the player. Oklahoma at the Link. If I had to guess, I'm gonna just. Here's my guess. This series goes back to 1940. They did a home and home, right? Last year Temple played at Oklahoma, or if not, last year was the year before. Mac, in my opinion, Oklahoma. If I had to guess. Oklahoma's athletic director is retiring. I forget his name right now, but he's been there since the 90s. They had a losing record to Temple. I think they wanted to correct that because Temple was winning the all-time series before last season. Or maybe it was tied up. I forget. Either way, you start talking to some of these old school teams, they like really care about their win percentage against other teams, even though games are played in like 1912. I think they probably sought this out to get the winning record against Temple, if I had to guess. You know, one thing that I do find interesting, Mac. What if Oklahoma sucks?
Well, I mean, then Keeler and that defense could muck it up and keep it somewhat close. But I mean, Oklahoma, from a talent, speed, athlete standpoint, they should blow them out.
I know. I'm just trying to build drama.
Mateer has one of those games he just throws a bunch of interceptions. Crazy shit.
Sam Houston didn't play Oklahoma 2 years ago, right? That was Houston. Yeah. All right. 2-1.
Yeah, 2-1. Terrible game.
Shout out to Philly J saying bring back the Redskins. Amen. Amen. I do completely agree there. Let's honor Native Americans, not delete them. Then they head to Atlanta, Bobby Dodd Stadium, to take on Brent Key and the Georgia Tech Yellow Jackets. This is the Jeff Collins Bowl. And as much as I like Casey Keeler, I like Brent Key. I'm actually going to interview him tomorrow if all goes well. I like Temple to lose this game.
Yeah.
Give me a 2-2.
Yeah, we're very bullish on the Georgia Tech Yellow Jackets this year. So, yeah, give me Georgia Tech. 2-2 for me.
I will say this, though. Georgia Tech opens up at Colorado. I think week 2 they get Gardner Webb, if memory serves me correct. They call quarterback power a lot, and which is why
maybe he gets hurt.
Well, I'm saying Haynes King missed, I think, 2 or 3 games last year. The reason why I bring that up is because Zach Piron, their backup that played really well, is now the starting quarterback of South Alabama. So If for some reason that could get a little dicey, but I don't think week 3 is probably a little too early in the year, and I don't wish injury on anybody, especially because I took Georgia Tech to make the playoffs. But I'm just saying it is always risky when you run a quarterback that much. But 2-2.
Yep.
They come out of that, they get a bye week. Shout out! Look at Paul Palmer, and look at this fucking Temple Owl mascot. This thing is great. They come out of that, and the UTSA Roadrunners are coming to Philly on October 4th. I have UTSA winning this game because I'm kind of bullish on UTSA this year. What are you doing here?
Yeah, we both love UTSA. We think there could be a fringe playoff team, to be honest. I'm going to stick with UTSA. Temple's not there yet under Keeler.
Then after that, the Navy midshipmen come to town. We are high on Navy as well, but I will say this. Navy plays a lot of close games traditionally with that offense. The downside of that offense, which I love that offense. I think more teams should run a triple option personally. I think it'd be a lot smarter if for a lot of teams. You'll go bowling every year pretty much. But I will say this. One little fumble here, turnover there, missed field goal there. And you can lose to anybody.
Yeah.
But I'll take Navy to win this game. What are you doing here?
I'll take, we're high on Navy. Navy's got all that experience coming back. Temple's not there yet.
So 2-4. 4-game losing streak. And you hit the road to the clit.
There we go.
Jerry Richardson Stadium there. This is anyone's game. I got no fucking idea who's winning this game. Oh, man. 2 first-year head coaches. I kind of think Temple's roster might be slightly better, but I don't know. It's at Charlotte. I'll put it like this. Temple has back-to-back away right now. They go at Charlotte, and then they go at H.A. Chapman Stadium in Tulsa, Oklahoma. I think they are going to win one of those games. It's possible they win both, to tell you the truth. Those are both coin flip games. I'm just banking on the coaching staff. I like Tim Albin at Charlotte. I like Trey Lamb at Tulsa, but I just think they'll get 3 wins by the end of the October 25th game there. What are you doing? Do you agree with that assessment? Do you have one in both? Do you have them losing both?
No. I have a 1-1 split. I think Charlotte wins. I trust Albin more. So yeah, give me a loss at Charlotte, 5 losses in a row. Then they snap it in Tulsa to get to 3-5, headed into the final third.
Then they host my East Carolina Pirates. I'm a little afraid of this game, to tell you the truth, man. Just because, and NC Nick was onto this, not with ECU, but just when you have a sleepy environment, and that in the American, so many teams are from the South, like like FAU, South Florida, ECU, UAB, UTSA, like these are all hot. Tulane, Memphis. Hot destinations, and you got to go to a stadium with 16 people in the bitter cold. There's nothing you're going to like about this trip. I'll take ECU. I'm just saying UCF struggled here, man. UCF, when they were rolling, struggled here. Give me ECU, but I do think this might be a little more than we bargained for. Look for me to potentially jump on Temple in the points. So what are you doing here?
Luckily for ECU, at least you have a bye week before this to get healthy. So I'll take ECU 3-6 for me.
Yeah. Cannabis Capper ECU is tomorrow. Glad to see you're paying attention. We're talking Temple, buddy. Then after that, they head to West Point, Mikey Stadium, folks. If you haven't been to Mikey Stadium, got to get up there. Mikey Stadium, one of the best stadiums in college football. The series goes back, 84 years, I think it is, or 85 years. I'll take Army, but I'll tell you this, man. Army's replacing a lot. I was doing a deep dive on Army recently, and I was like, shit. I love my Black Knights, but I was like, They are replacing a lot, and this
Monken
will
will
be.
have them going though at this point.
But this will be the second option team Temple faces in they played Navy like 3 or 4 weeks before this, so that is beneficial in my opinion to Temple. But I will take Army to win 17-16. What are you doing here?
I got Army. I think Army will be playing better ball second half of the year this year under Monken.
Then
Yes.
bye week. Look at that. Todd Bowles making a hardcore tackle for Bruce Arians. That was his college coach. Got to bring back those days. Let's go. You come out of the bye week, and this is okay. This is the one no one's predicting.
Yes. Remember how Tulane finished last year in the cold?
No, this is what I'm all over this, buddy.
Yeah.
I love first year coaches late in November. This is November 22nd. And let me tell you, these New Orleans boys do not want to be playing in cold ass Philadelphia on November 22nd. This is my upset special. Give me a 4th win for Temple. What are you doing here?
Cosign. Yeah. I think this is a great spot off the bye week too. They get a bye week. Tulane did not finish strong to end the year. I think they may struggle down the stretch as well this year. So yeah, give me Temple upset. Yeah. These good coaches late in the year, their first year.
And then they head to Denton, Texas for the final game of the season against the Mean Green.
They could win this.
This is a crazy game to me because I like North Texas hiring Sam Houston State's defensive coordinator, bringing in all of Sam Houston State's defense. But who knows those tendencies better than Casey Keeler because he was Sam Houston State's head coach. And then there's this other element. North Texas might have already fired Eric Morris' agency there at head coach because the guy is coaching for his life. It makes it incredibly hard to project. To me, like if Morris's offense, because his offense has been fine, the defense been ass. If the Sam Houston defense becomes essentially Sam Houston at North Texas, they might have something, and I think it's worth taking a shot on their stuff. We're going to talk about them. We haven't done their preview yet, but I'm kind of buying in there. Look, I'll say loss, but this is one that, like, honestly, we won't know until around that time, which is a good reason why we do our weekly show. Because, like, if you're telling me Eric Morris is already fired, I'll take Temple. But then if you're telling me Temple or North Texas is playing for, like, I do think they could be a sleeper in the conference this year. So I will say loss, but I definitely wouldn't mark this down as automatic.
I'm gonna go win. I think they pull off 2 upsets in the year, 5-7. Keeler once again gets his guys playing well in November.
Yeah, I mean, there's a path for it, man. And look, the win total, by the way, folks, is 3.5. I like the over, and I like the over pretty soundly. I know I just said 4 and 8, but I'm gonna build you a case here. We're gonna look at the schedule from a bird's eye point of view here. Mac, I think there is a scenario where they're ahead of schedule. First off, I saw Casey Keeler's comments saying he thinks his team's more talented than people think. Now, I know coach speak. I interview coaches fucking all off season. I know some of them just give you just the blah, blah. Our team's better than this, but and we talked about Sam Pork Pittman. He doesn't really bullshit you. Sam Pittman will tell you, like, man, I think we're pretty weak on the O-line. I don't know about Keeler yet, but I know there is a scenario here. The AAC is kind of in a transitional phase to a certain extent with all these teams leaving, Army coming in. Army's kind of in a rebuild. They won the conference a year ago. A lot of first-year head coaches. I think there's a world where Temple could beat UMass and Howard. Well, I fully expect them to win those, but then I will not put it past them to beat Charlotte, Tulsa.
And then you're at the over already.
Well, I'm saying, like, there's a world where they're bowling. I don't know what Army is this year, man. Like, Army and Navy games, as much as we like Army and Navy, and they were great last season, the chance that you could, like I said, one fumble here. They play so many close games. those games are more winnable than most games on the schedule. Now, I feel pretty good about Navy beating them. Army, I don't know. Like I said, even I'm a Jeff Monken believer, but I still think like Army plays teams very closely. And another thing is, I think the fact that they are going up against the option the second time there is a benefit to Temple. And then I think all those, like, honestly, what are the 100% losable games? To me is Oklahoma, Georgia Tech, UTSA. That 3-game stretch. Everything else to me is on the table.
Yeah, that's the AAC in a nutshell, though. I mean, there's so many toss-up games in that league. I mean, they don't get Memphis,
or South Florida.
So I mean, they got a pretty good schedule for the most part, in my opinion. Getting Tulsa, getting Charlotte, and then getting North Texas when they got them.
Yeah, I mean, getting North Texas when they got him is great because there's a chance he's not even coaching, and that I've seen so many scenarios. It makes me think of Dan Mullen at Florida when they fired him, and like Florida's team just completely quit before the final game of the season. So like that, when you get that scenario, it can add a win to that win total in a game that you're thinking is more 50-50. I'm going to lock up the over, even though I said 4-8.
Same.
I don't see how they don't get there. To me, like I said, there's 3 outright losses. The rest, I think everything's on the table. And I know some listeners will probably be saying, how the fuck can you take them against Tulane? Well, first off, upsets do happen.
Yeah.
I saw the flack you were getting from the Boise fans.
I mean, you think they're damn Ohio State right now.
but honestly, like the Southern teams, like that's a legit thing. And I think that's been a part of the reason why there's been such a handicap in the sport is playing Southern teams playing in the North. How much money did we make on Army money line in West Point against Tulane last year?
They beat them 34-0, right?
Dude, I don't even remember the final score. All I know is I was cashing my fucking money and like I was just having a ball. That is a legit thing. And and you know how you know it's accurate is the NFL. It's like the East Coast, the West Coast, but also like look at when remember when the Tampa Bay Bucks used to be in the NFC Central? They were fucking hard, even when they were nasty with Warren Sapp and shit. And before that, even with John McKay and Joe Gibbs and Doug Williams and all those, they couldn't win in the fucking cold weather. It's hard to simulate. So like,
and it goes the other way too. I mean, the Northern teams early in the year. I mean, the Boise State fans are acting like Georgia Southern wasn't right there to beat them week 1 last year.
Yeah. No, it does go the other way too. But that they've had that advantage forever though, because you know all these like college football FBS, you weren't playing in cold places in the month of really October and November. So that's what's great about now with the college football playoff and everything. You saw, SMU struggles. I'm telling you, I think you play that game at the Rose Bowl, that would have been a game against Penn State. But playing at a cold venue can be all the difference. And Temple has that edge. So I will lock up the over despite being only a half game above it. I trust Casey Keeler. I trust the Temple Owls who are going to do some damage this year. And I do believe, the AAC, and you saw their branding thing today at Media Days where they're leading into, we're no longer the AAC, we're the American. Mac, I see a bright future. Now, I don't know what's going on with Memphis. They're trying to give $200 million to buy. They're trying to pull an SMU to join the Big 12. Big 12's like, no, thank you. But I can tell you this: whether Memphis is here or not, that the future is bright with Temple. And as long as Jeff Monken is at Army, and to me, Navy is going to be good regardless. Newberry and Drew Cronick, I think, have a good system. Tulane is very good. ECU has with the exception of the Scotty Montgomery era, they've had like 50 years of winning football. I think the conference is in a good place, especially once they get Dilfer out of UAB.
Yeah,
I'm telling you, man. I think there's UTSA is a growing brand. Tulsa's been a good school, almost like an ECU's vein. They're kind of out there, but they win more years than not. It wasn't that long ago they played for an AAC championship with Zaven Collins. So I think the conference, is in decent shape. And if you're a Temple Owl fan, Casey Keeler is going to get you to the top of that. I really believe that. I really believe they're going to be like a power in this conference moving forward. How about you?
I agree. Like Keeler has won wherever he's been, and there's a reason he took this job. He didn't just take this job to retire. He thinks he can win there, and it's wide open. There's not a premier brand, I guess Memphis, but I mean Memphis has had their fair share of coming up short too. I mean they.
Oh, you don't need to tell me they can't beat ECU. So we'll talk about that tomorrow night when we do our ECU preview. But don't forget about the Rice Owls are running the triple. They're going to be a fucking bowl team every year too. So anyway, tomorrow, East Carolina preview. That'll be it because I will be at ACC Media Days all day long. We're breaking down 136 teams. I don't think anyone else does that. Give Moneyline Mac a follow on Twitter at Moneyline_Mac. I'm on Twitter at DColbyD. The College Football Experience is on Twitter at TCE on SGPN. We're both locking the Temple Owls over. And I can't wait to watch every single week. That's my favorite thing is when you follow college football from a bird's eye view, you watch. It was like Mendenhall at New Mexico last year. I locked up over 1.5. They blow like an 18-point lead week 1 to Montana State or week 0.
Ugh.
And I was just like, damn. But you watch each week and you see coaching and that motherfucker every time. I feel like I'm 9-1 on my last 10 Mendenhall bets. Same vein with Keeler. Let's go. Give me that over. Let's ride. See you tomorrow night, folks. Enjoy go listen to all of our episodes out there. And remember, the podcast platform has so many other gems than the YouTube because we didn't have video live. We have so many different coaching interviews, and that's not going to stop. We're going to do a bunch more over the next 72 hours. So hop on over there, subscribe to the podcast. Please, if you can, 5 stars, iTunes, Spotify, whatever. Till next time, folks, this is the College Football Experience. Temple Owls, you got yourself a winner, to quote Buddy Ryan there. You better start thinking about yours. And we out of here.
Mailbox 1. You have 7 messages. 1.
I'm not saying I'm impossible to outsmart my body and soul, or nothing without heart. And I'm not saying I'm impossible to outrun my body and soul, or nothing without love. And I'm not saying I'm impossible to outdo my body and soul, or nothing without truth. And I'm not saying it's impossible, but you're nothing without yourself. We're the obsession to be a part of that, started that. Mind over matter don't matter in the market. I've seen much smarter cats have heart attacks, largely because leaders need lambs to be lethargic. Match wits with the half-wit phantom. I don't need jumper cables or mic cords to analyze an analytical anthem between my 2 ears, an engine pumping the life force. Force field for your grip on the grievance. Still gonna feel unchallenged and bored stiff. So arrange the pieces to prepare cohesive. All the hard work will go largely ignored if your hands are covered with post-its and paper cuts. You need to have your voice in the vice grip. The one who made it famous ain't the one who made it up. You don't get overtime just for working the night shift.
I'm taking a pitch right now. It's like
I'm not saying I'm impossible to outsmart mind, body, and soul, or nothing without heart. And I'm not saying I'm impossible to outrun mind, body, and soul, or nothing without love. And I'm not saying I'm impossible to outdo mind, body, and soul, or nothing without truth. And I'm not saying it's impossible, but you're nothing without yourself. Every time I close my eyes, I'm taken to the same place, a playing field, and every contestant's got the game face. Everybody's yelling, you ought to play it safe. Make sure them shoes are tied and ankles taped. Shake the cobweb and hit the ground running. This is how cunning I can get with the footwork. You're doing it right, well, it shouldn't hurt. Flirt with greatness, still I run the famous. Nice high heels, I got mics for spikes. Trampling the home team and the turf for life. For the few fleet of foot, too fast for me. I fear none, cause I run and ignore the pair of feet by the tree that are fast asleep. In love with the game, you adore the hair. I believe in achievement. My soul isn't rewarded just cause it's easy goal and moves toward it.
I'm
saying I'm impossible to outrun. Mind, body, and soul, and nothing without love. And I'm not saying I'm impossible to outdo. Mind, body, and soul, and nothing without truth. And I'm not saying it's impossible.